It is with deep sadness that we share the news of the passing of Catherine, Duchess of Kent. Born as Katharine Lucy Mary Worsley on the 22nd of February 1933, she died peacefully at Kensington Palace on the 4th of September 2025 at the age of 92. Her death was confirmed by Buckingham Palace the following day, marking the end of a long and remarkable life of service, faith, and music. She was the wife of Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, a first cousin of Queen Elizabeth II, and for decades stood as one of the most admired and approachable members of the British royal family. Early life and education. Katharine Lucy Mary Worsley was born at Hovingham Hall in Yorkshire. She was the only daughter of Sir William Worsley, 4th Baronet, and his wife, Joyce Morgan Brunner. Her ancestry linked her to the powerful Brunner industrial family as well as to Oliver Cromwell, the Lord Protector of England, through his daughter, Frances Cromwell. For the first 10 years of her life, Catherine had no formal schooling. She later attended Queen Margaret's School in York, and then Runton Hill School in North Norfolk. There, she discovered her deep love for music. She learned to play the piano, organ, and violin, and became the music secretary of her school, organizing concerts and recitals. Although she failed to gain admission to the Royal Academy of Music, she pursued studies at Miss Hubler's finishing school in Oxford, where she refined her knowledge of literature, French, painting, and music. These years laid the foundation for her lifelong devotion to the art. Marriage and royal family life. Catherine met Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, while he was serving in the military at Catterick Camp. Their romance blossomed, and on the 8th of June, 1961, they married at York Minster. It was the first royal wedding held there in over 6 centuries since the marriage of King Edward III. The royal ceremony was attended by European royalty, dignitaries, and celebrities, including Noel Coward and Douglas Fairbanks Jr. Catherine wore a silk gauze gown designed by John Kavanagh and a dazzling diamond and pearl tiara. Together, the Duke and Duchess had 3 children. George, Earl of St Andrews, born in June 1962, Lady Helen Taylor, born in April 1964, and Lord Nicholas Windsor, born in July 1970. Their family life, however, was also touched by heartbreak. Catherine suffered a miscarriage in 1975, and 2 years later gave birth to a stillborn son named Patrick. The loss left her devastated and led to a period of deep depression, which she later spoke about openly. Royal duties and public role. For many years, the Duchess of Kent carried out public duties alongside her husband. She represented the Queen at events such as the independence celebrations of Uganda and the coronation of the King of Tonga. But beyond the glitter of royal ceremonies, Catherine was deeply connected to ordinary people. She supported countless charities, most notably in the world of music education. She served as president of the Royal Northern College of Music and later became director of the National Foundation for Youth Music. In 1994, she made history by converting to Roman Catholicism, the first senior royal to do so openly in modern time. Her decision was deeply personal, and though unusual for the royal family, it was accepted by Queen Elizabeth II. Lifestyle and personal passions. Unlike many royals who preferred grandeur, Catherine chose a modest lifestyle. After stepping back from royal duties in the mid-1990s, she even worked as a music teacher in Hull, where her pupils knew her simply as Mrs. Kent. She gave private piano lessons in a small rented studio near Kensington Palace. She also co-founded Future Talent, a charity that supports children from disadvantaged backgrounds in pursuing careers in music. Catherine had a wide taste in music, from classical pieces to modern pop and even rap. In later years, she surprised the public by sharing her fondness for artists such as Eminem and Ice Cube, showing her open-minded spirit and youthful outlook. She also supported organizations such as Samaritans and UNICEF, always using her royal influence to make a difference in the lives of the vulnerable. Health struggles. The Duchess's life was not without challenges. In 1978, she was hospitalized for what was described as nervous strain. She lived for decades with celiac disease and symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome, which slowed her down in her later years. These ongoing health battles likely contributed to her declining strength in her 90s. Net worth and legacy of wealth. Unlike the wealthiest royals, Catherine was known for her humility and modest approach to money. At the time of her death, her net worth was estimated at $10 to $12 million. This included assets inherited from her Worsley family background and her marriage into the Kent branch of the royal family. She chose not to live extravagantly, preferring to invest her energy in her children, her music, and her charities. Interesting facts and trivia. Catherine was the first senior royal to convert to Catholicism in centuries. She once boycotted Wimbledon's royal box after being denied permission to seat the young son of a bereaved friend. On the BBC programme Desert Island Discs, she chose Mozart's Ave Verum Corpus as her favourite piece of music. She loved teaching more than royal duties, describing it as one of the greatest privileges of her life. Despite her royal title, she insisted on being approachable and lived as simply as possible. Cause of death. While no single illness was identified as the official cause, the Duchess had lived with a series of health struggles for many years. She suffered from celiac disease and the Epstein-Barr virus, conditions that often left her fatigued. Friends and family have shared that her passing came peacefully after a period of increasing frailty. At 92 years old, her death was seen as the gentle close of a life marked by both privilege and profound humanity. Legacy and final tribute. Catherine, Duchess of Kent, will be remembered not just as a royal, but as a woman of compassion, faith, and music. She broke barriers by converting to Catholicism, and she quietly stepped away from the spotlight to dedicate herself to teaching children and supporting disadvantaged musicians. Her life was marked by resilience in the face of personal tragedy, courage in making unconventional choices, and kindness that touched everyone she met. To her family, she was a devoted wife, mother, and grandmother. To the world, she was a royal who showed that true nobility lies not in wealth or ceremony, but in humility and service. As the British royal family and the nation mourn her passing, her memory will live on through the music she loved, the children she inspired, and the legacy of compassion she leaves behind.